To make it bigger.
Oh.
I don't like having all these three things. Yeah. Are we ready?
Wait for
yeah.
yeah, looks like we're on the air.
All right. Well, good evening and welcome to the North Georgia GMRS Regional Net. Tonight we are live from Studio Vanguard and we are linked in with the following repeaters.
Flagship, Watkinsville, Zebulon, Lula, Toccoa, McDonough, Jersey, Columbus, Noonan, Rome, Dallas, Ocala, Salicoa Ridge, Chattanooga, White Oak Mountain, Lookout Mountain, Fort Mountain, Georgetown, Ottawa, and of course our VoIP service, Zello. Cades Cove currently has an internet outage at that site.
Tonight, our RF coverage is over 147 billion square meters. This net takes place every Thursday evening at 7:30 p.m. I would like to thank everyone who has made the North Georgia GMRS the most expansive and active GMRS network in the country. Tonight, your net control is WQYR 514, Atlanta 947. My name is Julie.
And I am WQYR 514, Atlanta 946. My name is Justin.
And I am WRWM 344, Blue Ridge 63. My name is Mike.
And Atlanta 750, WRMR 367. My name is Jeff.
On the net, you can talk about your day's activities, radio equipment, or anything you think we'd like to hear. This is a family-based network, so we would encourage you to get your family involved. Guest check-ins are welcome from anyone with a valid FCC call sign. Once the floor is open, it's permissible to address other members of the net by their name or tactical unit number. Your FCC call sign is only required when you sign in and when you sign out of the net. Also, you can tune into our YouTube channel and follow along. Or even better, tune in after the net to watch your appearance on the network and hear how you sound to us right here in Studio Vanguard. Be sure to like and subscribe and leave a comment so we know you were watching. These interactions mean the most to help our new channel grow. So what's the announcements for this week?
Let's see what Kate has to say.
I love it.
This is WRMR 367, Atlanta 751, Kate from high atop Mount Molesky, live in Studio C with this week's Catch Up with Kate. The following regional gatherings are an opportunity to meet with like-minded North Georgia GMRS Network members. It's a great way to meet new friends and associate a face with a voice for many who we talk to on the air. These events are arranged by various members and cover a large portion of the network. The West Side Bunch will gather for lunch on the second Saturday of June at Taco Mac at 11 a.m. This will be on June 8th. Mark your calendars. David and Lisa, Dallas 20 and Dallas 21, will not be at attendance for this lunch as they will be on a much-deserved vacation. All are welcome to attend this luncheon at Taco Mac in Marietta. The address is 2650 Dallas Highway, Suite 110. The Northeast Bunch will gather for lunch on Wednesday, June 26th at Roosters in Dahlonega. Roosters is located at 89 Long Branch Road, Dahlonega. Easy to find at the end of 400. In other news, the annual Peachtree Road Race is coming in July, and they still need to fill about 10 volunteer positions. The AJC Peachtree Road Race is the world's largest 10K road race. The Atlanta Track Club and the local Aries Group are trying to fill positions for all skill levels, including brand new radio operators. Shifts start at 4:30 a.m. on Thursday, July 4th, and end by noon. The sooner they can fill these remaining slots, the sooner they will know what services they can provide the medical branch during this event. They can also accept GMRS operators in Piedmont Park, i.e., you do not need an amateur radio license to volunteer. To sign up, go to Google and enter Atlanta Track Club. When you go to their homepage, you'll see a banner right at the very top of the screen promoting the event. Click Volunteer. When the next page loads, you'll see an option to enter a password. The password you should enter is PRR24HAM. That's Papa Romeo Romeo 24 Hotel Alpha Mike, to see the slots that they need filled. Here's where you will enter your contact information and register as a volunteer. Let me break. From the Stockbridge Group, the local canine search and rescue team is looking for anyone interested in training their own dog in search and rescue. They provide training support free of charge. Also, support people are needed. If you are interested or know someone that is, please reach out to Bruce, McDonough 39 for more information. Also, we are excited to announce a new addition to the North Georgia GMRS Net lineup. The Little Miss Radio Net is on the way. This net will be for the ladies of North Georgia GMRS Network. It will be a net held once monthly on Mondays between rabbit hole nets. The first net will take place this coming Monday, June 3rd, with check-in starting at 7:30 p.m. North Georgia GMRS Network is happy to announce we'll be working with the Pickens County Sheriff's Department again this year for the annual Sheriff's Jeep Fest Crawl for the Kids event. This is a charity event put on by the Sheriff's Department every year. The event starts Thursday, August 29th with the night ride and ends on Sunday, September 1st. North Georgia GMRS will be assisting with communications for the duration of the event. We're looking for volunteers who have Jeeps with GMRS radios to assist with reporting trail conditions throughout the weekend. We also have a need for non-Jeep volunteers for help with various tasks around the grounds, such as working the information booth. If you can help with the event, please email jeepfest@nggmrs.org. Many hands make light work, so the more volunteers we have, the better. Let me break. And be sure to tune in Friday night for the Friday at 9 Simplex Challenge. This week is a special topic of backup emergency power. This week, the Simplex Net will be meeting on the ball ground repeater at 8:15 for check-ins. Again, not the usual 8:30. This is the special net, so it will begin at 8:15. There will be testing on 2-meter as well if you have your amateur license. 2-meter testing will be from 8:15 through 8:55 p.m. on frequency 146550. And then GMRS Simplex testing will start at 9 p.m. Look for more information on Facebook or call out to Atlanta 250 sometime before the challenge for more details. That's the whole bottle of ketchup. If you have any questions, suggestions, or spicy announcements for us to catch up on, send me a note at kate@nggmrs.org. And please try to have your announcements in by Tuesday at noon so we have time to prepare your announcements in time for the net. We are North Georgia GMRS Network. This is WRMR 367, Atlanta 751, Kate. And now back to net control.
Well, thank you, Kate, for all of those saucy announcements. Now that the bottle is empty, let's see if Julie has any tips.
As a matter of fact, I do. As we gear up for Jeep Fest, this is a perfect time to talk about overland and camping. Whether you have a fully upgraded trail-ready Jeep or one of the many 4x4 off-road vehicles, overland trails can be a great recreation. Although Jeep Fest is exclusive to Jeep-branded vehicles, most trails are open to all makes and models of off-road adventure machines. Is your vehicle ready for the challenge? When venturing off-road, a good communication plan is an important part of outfitting your vehicle. Both a good mobile radio and a portable should be part of the plan. What is a good mobile radio? Well, we prefer commercial Part 90 radios for GMRS because they can take the operating environment and sound great even in noisy situations. Often, used Part 90 radios can be found for far less than consumer-grade Part 95 radios purchased new. Unlike CB, limited to 4 watts and typically AM modulation, GMRS offers up to 50 watts of clear FM radio and repeater access when appropriate. Let me break. Having both a mobile radio installed in your vehicle and a portable on board means you can have a spotter get out and watch your maneuver through the tight spots. And a few portables are smart to have if your adventures go on foot. Most overland and camping comms are best handled in simplex, and with portable handheld radios, hikers can split up on the trails and remain in contact. At the base camp, a small ammo can repeater can keep everyone connected, and if you are in range of the North Georgia GMRS network, you can remain connected beyond the trails. When you're ready to break camp and return home, GMRS radio is a great way to stay connected to friends and neighbors as you caravan on the highway. It allows for you to keep an eye on the other vehicles and radio to the caravan, potty breaks, fuel stops, or other developments as the group travels. And again, the North Georgia GMRS linked repeater network means you can check on travelers as the trip progresses. These are just a few of the preferred practices of North Georgia GMRS members, and these procedures are how we become the best operators on the nation's largest, most advanced linked repeater network. And remember, if you have any questions or suggestions for new user tips and operating procedures, send me a note at julie@NGGMRS.org. We are North Georgia GMRS Network, and this is WQIR 514, Atlanta 947. Julie.
Well, thank you, Julie. And yeah, so that's good stuff. Now, we still have the matter of this week's topic. And so the confusion comes from the fact that we did last week's topic 2 weeks ago, and then last week we did this week's topic. And now this week, it looks like we're doing probably next week's topic. So we were a bit disjointed and disorganized and uncoordinated. But I think we've got it all worked out. Mike, what did we settle on for a topic tonight?
Tonight's topic is barbecuing and grilling outdoors.
Fantastic.
Of course it is.
All right. So if you have any barbecue tips, tricks, or techniques, any good rub recipes, any advice on setting up and operating a smoker, yeah.
Or what's your favorite smoker?
Well, I'll bet Traeger is one that comes out tonight. We'll have to see, but yeah, those are, I think, the things that we want to talk about tonight is smoking and grilling, barbecue recipes, and all of that. So as we let tonight's tiki burgers settle in, hopefully they're settling in well
For at least the next couple hours.
all right. Yeah, then it's time to break. I'll be right back. So with that in mind, let's go to the top of the list, and we'll see what barbecue recipes come out of tonight's conversation.
Don't we have to take more check-ins?
Yeah. Do you want,
That's well, all right, I guess.
did you want to do that?
That's kind of how it works.
yeah, we probably need to do that. Although, looking at the roster now, we already have a pretty good run. So, do we really need to take any more?
Yes.
Well, yeah, we don't want to leave anybody out.
All right. Well, that's true. We don't want to leave anybody out. So let me go ahead and acknowledge we've got just a couple of YouTube check-ins already. We have McDonough45 Kai in McDonough checking in on YouTube, and Dallas16 Michael also checking in on YouTube. So with that, let's go ahead and take one more round of Zello check-ins. Anyone using the VoIP app on their phone, not a radio, please call Net Control now. Even if you whisper, they can hear us on YouTube. Oh, yeah.
Let's see if Holly will come back to me on YouTube.
All right. Not hearing any YouTube or Zello check-ins. That's what it is. We usually don't hear the YouTube check-ins, do we?
Nope.
Yeah.
Nope, not
Funny
yet.
how that is. So not hearing any Zello check-ins, we must have gotten them all in the first round. So we're going to continue on with check-ins from any repeater other than Flagship, including Zello check-ins if you can squeeze one in. But Flagship users, please hold your traffic for now. Net Control, standing by. WSC something 395.
I think we've had him in before.
This is CBSBW 497, shot 139. Robert, in and out. And checking out.
I missed that one that Robert was on top of.
I heard WSVE 395.
WSVE 395.
That's what I heard on Zello, but
Okay.
it's really broken.
All right.
Then he said guest check-in. He didn't give a name.
All right.
Well, I think I'm going to excuse myself.
All right. This is your opportunity to sneak away.
Yep.
All right. Tell everybody on YouTube goodbye.
Good night, everyone. See ya.
We'll see ya.
Are you taking your little dogs too?
If they follow me. Click my heels.
I was gonna say that
There's
the
no
way you
place
said
like-
that reminded me of
That's what I said. There's no place
and
like
your,
home.
and your little dogs too.
Come on, Penny.
That means you.
Come on.
Evie decides she wants to hang out.
Yeah, now we got a traffic jam.
Go on, Penny.
All right. Let me go ahead and acknowledge this last round of check-ins. Let me move my screen over just a little tiny bit so I can see. We had WSVE 395, a guest check-in. And we also had Chattanooga 139, Robert. And Ringgold is in tonight. And Chattanooga 168, Jim, is a YouTube check-in. Thanks for your check-in tonight. Let's go ahead and continue on with check-ins from any repeater, anywhere. Net Control, standing by.
This is Atlanta 255, WSAM 586, and I'll be in.
Oh, that's not right.
Now, we'll be listening.
What'd you
Have a
guys?
good night, everybody.
That was Tom. The one after.
It was a perfect double.
Yeah.
Three transmitting at the same time.
So it was Tom and somebody else.
This is WSCV 548, guest check-in. My name is Chris out of Woodstock, Georgia. I am in and out. This is
Oh my goodness. What's
W2C check-in out.
Didn't get that one. Oh, it's Rogers, ATL 263.
This is WSAM 231, Atlanta 102, checking in.
This is WRVR 303, Chattanooga 30, Jonathan and Hickson, checking in and out. Good evening, everyone.
I don't think Rogers was part of the double, but because Rogers said he was checking in from Columbus.
Oh, was it not? I didn't see where the double came from.
They were both on flagship.
Oh, okay. He was one that I couldn't hear, maybe for a different reason then.
Why are you so grumpy?
And Atlanta 946 decimal 1.
All right, it's going to be a light night tonight.
Yeah, it looks like it.
No topic. All right, let me go ahead and acknowledge this round of check-ins. We had Atlanta 255. Jennifer in Dawsonville is in tonight. Atlanta 263. Rogers in, did you say he was somewhere else?
Columbus.
In Columbus tonight on YouTube. We had Atlanta 532. Tom in Flowery Branch is in and out. We have a guest check-in from WSCV 548. Chris in Woodstock is in and out. We have Atlanta 102. James in Cumming is in tonight. And Chattanooga 30. Jonathan in Hickson is in and out. Those are the check-ins we have at this time. So I think we can head to the top now.
Well,
and
there was a perfect double with Tom, and we missed the second part of the double. We pulled Tom out of it, so if we didn't call your name, it wasn't intentional. You were probably part of that double.
Well, let's go ahead and make one more break for check-ins right here, and then we'll there'll be an opportunity for additional check-ins when we get to the end of the roster before we close the program. But let's make one more call for any additional check-ins. And as Jeff said, if you didn't hear your name, it's because we didn't hear you to get you in log. Net control standing by.
This is
He's got a lot to say tonight.
This is WRUF 788, Dallas 49, Doug in Hiram, checking in and out.
Very good, Doug.
This is WSAR 344, Atlanta 170, Dalton and Cartersville, checking in and out.
This is WRKK 629, Chattanooga 84, checking in. This is WRJR 959 CW2 on my third attempt to check in and check out.
Third time's a charm.
I got it.
WRCK 509 with a guest check-in, in and out, Thomas in Catering, Georgia.
Are you trying to get out, or are you just trying to get comfortable? Yeah, I'm asking you.
Did he say he had a comment?
I think he just said he was a guest check-in.
Okay.
All right. Expected 1, we got 5. That's a good thing. We have Dallas 4-9. Doug in Hiram is in and out. We also have Atlanta 170. Dalton in Cartersville is in and out. We heard Chattanooga 84. Jim in Hickson is in tonight. And third time's the charm there, Stephen. CW2 in Arnoldsville. We've got you in and out. And we have a WRCK 509 guest check-in tonight. Appreciate you checking in. And with that, we're going to go ahead and move on to the top. If you didn't get a chance to get in, Stephen indicated it took him 3 tries. That happens sometimes. We'll have one more call for additional check-ins as we get close to the end of the program tonight. But at this time, we're going to head on up to the top of the roster, and we'll start off with Gainesville 100. Randall in the Philippines is checking in tonight by way of Zello. We also heard Atlanta 516. Ray in Canton is in and out. Atlanta 725. David in Holly Springs is in and out. Rome 27. Terry in Menlo is in and out. Cades Cove 80. Eric in Rockwood is in and out. Dallas 64. Josh in Dallas is in and out. And that'll bring us to Atlanta 403. Bobby at the Vortex. Bobby, do you have any barbecue recipes or any smoking techniques that you'd like to share with the net tonight?
Well, my technique would be to come over here to the Vortex and let Joe and Sandra take care of the smoking and barbecuing needs in my life. You know, I can grill a burger or grill some chicken at my house, but over here they got smokers, they got deep fryers, they got the grill, so they're, they got it down pat. That's why I'm always over here for the net night.
Solid outdoor kitchen.
I like it. So I understand there's a deep fryer there. When does the fish fry happen?
I'm not quite sure on the fish fry. We're going to have to coordinate things with Mr. Dana and Mr. Chuck and see, but they're all interested in the fish fry, and it sounds like you are too, so I don't know. We're going to have to go through Joe on that one. I told him he's going to check back in later because, I can't speak for him on fish fries and barbecue recipes and all that good stuff. That's easy over here. I'm just here to hang out,
Well, very good. Well, I'd be curious to hear just what the total pound of filleted fish that he brought back, and sounds like he had a great time in Ohio fishing. So looking forward to hearing that story. So yeah, if you can talk him into checking in, we'll just mark him as such here in the log and call on him here in just a few minutes. So all right, well, good stuff, Bobby. And I can appreciate the value of letting someone do the barbecuing and the smoking for you. In most instances, that works out to our benefit. Our neighbor Gary, he's not here anymore. He's moved on to Franklin, Tennessee. But when he used to live here, he would frequently smoke a Boston butt, and that was a real treat when he would do that for us. So it was always an outstanding meal, and I really enjoyed that. It's one of the things I miss maybe the most about Gary moving away. Next on our list is Atlanta 7-3. Ed in Lawrenceville. Ed, do you have any barbecue recipes or techniques you'd like to share with the net?
Well, I'm back fix you up. Instead of Jersey, do I need to check in again?
No, I think you're good. You're coming in nice, so let's go ahead and roll with it.
Okay, well, the best thing I can say about the cooking is the same thing as 403 said. Let somebody else that knows what they're doing do it for you.
Well, there is a lot of value in that, and just like as simple as the burgers on the grill are, the tiki burgers that we enjoy most evenings before the net. There's been a couple of evenings they've been a little bit dry and a little overdone, and
sometimes forgotten about.
Right? So, but for the most part, they're pretty good. But there's grilling a burger on a flat griddle. And then there's, an actual grill. So those are two totally different things. Really, really enjoy the griddle. The grill was always a lot more challenging. I never really cared much for the propane flavor when you would cook with the gas grill. Always preferred charcoal. But charcoal takes time and effort and coordination and planning. And that can be its own challenge. And then for a while, we kind of gave up on the charcoal, and we were grilling with actual wood, pieces of hickory, pieces of oak, hardwood, fire, cooking over that, and that's even more challenging. As you get everything going and you get the heat just the way you want it to, and then you open the lid so that you can flip the meat over, and now that all that extra oxygen is getting to the fire and the flame lips up, so you've got to be able to handle that meat very, very quickly when you're cooking with wood, and you don't have the smoker box where you can have the wood off to the side in its own contained environment where you can control the air to it. So those were some of the challenges that I faced with grilling. But now that we've got the flat iron griddle, I enjoy cooking on it, and so many things about it are just a lot easier. And I don't mind the propane because there's no actual flame that touches the food, so you don't get any of that odd flavor with the meat. So good point, Ed, and I'd have to say I agree. McDonough 22, Tim in Stockbridge. Tim, do you have any grilling advice you'd like to offer? Don't know. It slipped away from me.
Because you kept dropping.
Maybe. McDonough 22, Tim in Stockbridge. Did you have any comments for grilling, barbecuing, or smoking? Recipes, perhaps?
Maybe he was in and out. We missed it.
Oh, he was definitely in.
Okay. I don't know.
Maybe he stepped away from the radio.
All right. Tim must be otherwise engaged at the moment, so we're going to go ahead and move on. Next on the list, we have Chattanooga 69 Ronnie in Ross Vegas. Ronnie's in and out. So is Jana Chattanooga 70, also in Ross Vegas, also in and out. That'll bring us next to Gainesville 44 Joe in Cleveland. Joe, did you have any comments about this coming fish fry or grilling or barbecue tips?
Well, as far as the fish fry goes, there's a good bit that I brought back. We filleted 2 different times over 100 fish each time.
Wow.
Vacuum sealed them and got them frozen in freezers right there on site. So they're ready to go. Just have to arrange with people and have a good date. With the smoking, which is what I've been doing lately, is dry rubs usually. I have some different woods that I use, apple, pecan, hickory, just depends on what meat I'm doing and what smoke
level I want on it. But it's an electric smoker. Some of the big things like briskets, I dry rub it, put it on, I get to go to sleep, wake up the next day, worry about it then. I don't about cover that. There will be a date for a fish fry. We can figure out when we'll put it out there.
Good stuff. All right. Well, I'm looking forward to news about the fish fry.
Well, I know a weekend when everybody will be together.
Yeah?
Labor Day weekend in August.
Well, that's interesting.
Could do an on-site fish fry and then doesn't have to worry about getting everybody all together.
Oh, yeah.
They'll already be there. Everybody
will be there. That's right. That is one common meeting place, so I have to think about that. And yeah. So I don't know. I mean, that might be a logistic challenge, but we can see what we can do to...
That sounds like a Bobby job.
Yeah, the logistics?
Yeah.
Uh-huh. Well, let's do that. Let's put Bobby in charge, and you can report back to us next week on how that works out. Well, good stuff, Joe, and glad you had a good time fishing. Over 100 fish filleted on 2 different occasions. How many days were you on the lake?
We actually had 11 days at the site. We actually spent a day cleaning up, setting up everything, and then one tearing down. The rest of the days were 5 o'clock, 5:30 in the morning on the lake, and come back, have lunch, wait out part of the heat of the day, and go back out.
No, that's pretty intense. I don't know that I could maintain that kind of a schedule, but that's pretty intense. I'm glad you were able to do that and have a good time with the guys on the lake, and sounds like it was a very productive time. Do you have any time for goofing off or telling stories?
Isn't that the whole point of fishing?
Oh yes, sir. We burned 3 deep pile of wood. It was about neck high, 5 feet high, and 5 foot wide, and it managed to almost all be burned up. 2 last pieces on one day we gave away.
Ah, very nice. All right. Well, it sounds like you had a fantastic time. Glad that you made it back home so you can get some rest. All right. Next on the list, we have Cindy. CW5 is in and out, as well as CW4 Derek, both from Comer. Also in and out, we have Cades Cove 82 Jenny in Rockwood. And Atlanta 342 David incoming, all in and out. That'll bring us to Atlanta 250 Dana in Dahlonega. Dana, did you have any comments or suggestions for recipes for barbecuing or smoking on the grill?
Well, good evening, guys. I can't really say I do a whole lot. I got a decent setup out there on the deck, but it's usually just me occasionally, and I mean occasionally, twice a year. We might do a fire pit or something like that with the neighbors, but it's usually the typical burgers and dogs, brats, and that's really just about it.
Ah, very good. Well, you know, sometimes it's nice to go back to the basics, although, hot dogs, it's really kind of about what you start with. For instance, some people like the all-beef hot dogs. Personally, I prefer the pork and chicken style hot dogs, the beaks and butts, I like to say. But there's just more flavor there, I think. But I know that the all beef or even the kosher style hot dogs are preferred by some. And then, of course, the brats. There's a lot of different varieties of brats that people like. So it all starts with what you throw on there to begin with. There's not that much that we do at home in the way of seasoning. Salt and pepper, perhaps. But and then, of course, with the burgers, There is a seasoning that I buy from Aldi. It's called Amazing Burger, and that's what I put on the tiki burgers.
That's what you put on those?
On Thursday nights. That's right.
All right.
Yeah. So and ground pepper, fresh ground pepper from the grinder.
To talk about your preference for the shredded cheese on the burger as opposed to the sliced cheese.
Well, so I never really was happy with the sliced cheese. It just has a very artificial plastic texture to it that I don't like the texture. The flavor is pretty okay, but so because I wanted to get away from the Kraft single slices of cheese on the burgers, I tried several different times with various cheeses. And so I'd buy the little blocks of cheese and try to slice it thin, but it was so hard to get the cheese to melt. And a lot of times I would end up with a dry, overcooked, or burnt burger with cheese that's still not very melted. But what I've learned along the way is that if you put shredded cheese on the burger, it melts up pretty nicely. And you can get a nice, even layer of cheese on a burger using shredded cheese rather than the chunks of cheese. And so that's my preference. Oddly enough, here in the family, we have folks that prefer the Kraft singles. I don't understand.
You've not converted them yet.
Not converted them yet. So, and I guess that's a matter of, I guess that boils down to some people like the all beef hot dog, and I prefer the cheaper variety of hot dog. I guess that's what I grew up on, and a flavor that I've been more accustomed to. But we've got both varieties in the freezer. We're ready. So whichever your preference is, just give me the word and I can throw it on the grill. And we've also got in the freezer, I don't know why we have these around, but somebody seems to like these Beyond hot dogs.
Oh.
That's because it's not a ham net. No meat.
No meat. So it's a no meat hot dog. And so we've got some of those in the freezer. If that's your preference, we can make that happen too. So good stuff. All right, well, let's move right along. We have Atlanta 637 Dave in Kennesaw is in and out, and that'll bring us to Atlanta 256 Chuck in Dawsonville. I guess we'll have to work out some of the logistics too with Chuck for.
Don't give Chuck any more jobs. He's got to handle the coffee and the donuts.
Well, we don't want him to screw that up.
Yeah,
he is uniquely qualified for that.
Yeah.
So don't give him any more because we got to have the coffee.
Well, should we even ask him about grilling, or is that going to be an overload for him?
Well, I mean, you could ask him, but don't bring grilling into Jeep Fest. He's got his task for Jeep Fest.
All right. Well, with that in mind, Chuck, do you have any comments for grilling or smoking or barbecuing on your backyard?
Well, no, not like you guys, but I have a Blackstone back out there, and I got it pickled right now. I got to unpickle it and get it going, but I don't do a whole lot of seasoning. I like my stuff as is. Although I might try a little Sweet Baby Ray's on something, but I like the shredded cheese. I've had that opportunity to test the Tiki Bar burgers, and it's quite tasty. But other than that, no, I'm going to yield to the man that eats more meat than a wolf in 1402. So, he's always grilling or cooking something up. But that's all I have for tonight.
I lost my foot pedal again, but there it is. Well, yes, the shredded cheese I think is just it's the right it's the right combination of cheese flavor and rapid melting, and it gets the job done nicely. And the other thing that's cool about the shredded cheese is you can buy it mixed, so you can get a mix of the mozzarella and the cheddar and the various flavors. The my preferred is the taco mix, oddly enough, is what I prefer to use on the burgers. So it's a blend of 3 or 4 different cheeses. I'd have to go look at the bag to tell you exactly what's in it. But that is, I think, the magic touch in terms of cheese that melts evenly and rapidly and has good flavor. So, all right. Well, with that, we're going to move on. Next, we have Atlanta 849. Pamela in Duluth. I'm tempted to stop and see if Pamela has any comments, but I think probably Pamela will save her comments
for the comments.
End. Yeah, that's her. That's typically her operating mode. So Atlanta 849. Pamela in Duluth is in and out for now. In Atlanta 848. Ernest also in Duluth, in and out. Atlanta 454. Stephen in Lilburn is in and out. Atlanta 453. Janine in Lilburn, also in and out. Chattanooga 179. Brett in Chattanooga, in and out. Noonan 345. Tim in Sonoa is in and out. Atlanta 451. Mike in Statham is in and out. Atlanta 11. John in Canton is in and out. And let's see if Atlanta 1402. Todd in Sugar City has any grilling advice or smoking hot comments he'd like to make.
The pit boss of
North Georgia, Silver City.
Of Silver City. 1402.
He's probably running the grill right now.
I think he is. I think I heard him on Pete's repeater earlier talking about how he's getting ready to go cook.
Well, I don't know if we're going to get 1402 to step away from the grill long enough to talk on the radio.
He's probably on the grill, yeah.
Yeah. Let's give it a shot, see if he's there. Atlanta 1402.
No dice.
All right. I don't know. I think Thursday nights is pizza night over there, isn't it?
I don't even think he really makes pizza. I think that's just some big fantasy because we've never seen him.
Well, that's true. I've seen photos of his pizzas, but you know how photos are.
They could be Domino's for all we know.
Yeah, that could be AI. You can't trust a photo anymore.
Maybe he's doing pizza on the grill. That's a popular thing with the green eggs.
Yeah, and I've heard more and more about pizza on the grill, and I guess it turns out really nice. I haven't tried it. You know, I can buy a good pizza nearby, so I just haven't really been motivated to make my own pizzas. But there was a time when I was pretty displeased with the offerings of pizzas, and we'd go down to Aldi and get one of those take-and-bake pizzas, and then put our own toppings on it.
Yes.
So there's a place that we can get Italian sausage from that's really good, and a different place that we get some decent pepperoni from, and so half of the pizza would be, you know, like little bits of ham and sausage and pepperoni, and then the other half would have, you know, the garden variety of toppings on it.
The supreme side.
The I don't know why they call it supreme. It seems inadequate to me.
Yeah.
But but we haven't done that in a long time because we've got some pretty good pizza places that we found. I think that Big Pie in the Sky over in Kennesaw is still my favorite.
I've not been there.
The Carnivore. I really, really like that Carnivore pizza. It's 11 pounds of pizza.
Wow.
30 inches around. And I mean, a slice of pizza is bigger than your head.
Wow.
And is more than a reasonable amount of food for one person.
All right.
But the Carnivore challenge at Big Pie in the Sky is that if 2 people can eat that 11-pound pizza and 2 large beverages in an hour, then you win $250 and the pizza is free.
Oh, very nice.
Otherwise, the pizza is like $75. It's probably more than that now, but that's what it was pre-COVID.
Okay.
I haven't had a Big Pie in the Sky for a while. We'll have to go check that out.
We'll have to do that one of these net nights.
Well, it would be tough to do just logistically because it's so far in the wrong direction.
Well, the one that's here local that I miss from when I lived in Woodstock is the mellow mushroom.
Yeah.
The Mighty Meaty. Are you know
well,
that one?
You've brought the mellow mushroom by a few times on net nights.
This is not a sponsorship for mellow mushroom
or any pizza place.
But I do miss that spot.
What's the other one that you we're coming up on a break here, but what's the what is it, Costco? The pizza from Costco is surprisingly good from a store like that.
Yeah, and it's funny because
Kirkland's?
the cheese pizza is actually better than the pepperoni pizza, and those are your choices at Costco: cheese or pepperoni.
Yep.
But the pepperoni pizza is very, very greasy. Let me break. But yeah, that's actually not too bad. So that's one that we've picked up several times.
I think we need to have a net just on pizza because
Right.
this was supposed to be about grilling.
Yeah. Well,
But
somebody
you can combine the pizza and the grilling.
Yeah, if we could just figure out how to do that more regularly. So maybe we'll get the Aldi take and bake pizza and put our own toppings on it and throw it in the grill and see what happens.
There we go.
All right. Well, with that in mind, we're going to move on from 1402. He had his chance and he blew it. Atlanta 261 Scott in Holly Springs is in and out, as well as Atlanta 57 Andrew, also in Holly Springs, also in and out. We have Columbus 27 Joseph in Boston. Joseph, do you have any barbecue recipes or tips or tricks for smoking? What am I talking about?
Oh, Dana's in on the mellow mushroom.
I don't have any particular tips, but I'm glad I went ahead and ate before I listened to the radio, or else y'all make me hungry.
Well, I'll tell you, that is a common thing among radio activities. It almost always involves food in one form or fashion, and we've learned that one thing that really draws radio nerds together is food, and that's why I think there are so many various groups throughout the North Georgia GMRS region that have either lunch or breakfast gatherings. There's the one in Stockbridge, there's the one in Dahlonega, there's one over in Kennesaw, and there's one up in Chattanooga. There was about to be one in Knoxville, but that one never really took off. I think it would if we just stick with it for a while. But in any case, there's opportunities to create one near you. You just got to declare a time and a place, and make it known on the radio and on the Facebook page, and eventually you'll have a handful of folks that'll meet there somewhat regularly. So I'd go to all of them if I didn't have a day job. But
radio and food, always a good combination.
Radio, yep. I think pretty much anything in food. Seems like well, I'm a fat guy, so food always interests me.
Well, there was that one time that they did a ham radio test in a steakhouse. You remember that?
I do remember that. It seems to me,
and it lured in the folks that were interested in the food.
It seems to me that if you passed the test, then there was an offer of a free salad.
I queued that one up, I guess.
It's funny that you brought that up.
You opened the door for that one.
I did. One of these times I'll live it down.
Well, I got to put some thought into this, see what we can set you up for on Jeep Fest. There's got to be some gullible trap we can set for you.
No, not for me.
Yeah, very good. Let me break. That's a very good point, Joseph, and we're glad you brought that to us. Appreciate you coming on the air. Next, we have Atlanta 410, Kevin in Alpharetta. Kevin, do you have any barbecue recipes or grilling, smoking tips for us? I do like smoked tips.
Mm-hmm. Well, I'm all about the low and slow. So the brisket is the best, but a lot of times I don't have time to do brisket. You gotta start that the night before, or cook it the day before. So the tomahawks, I've been going to Costco and getting the tomahawks lately. They're great. They're nice and thick, and you can reverse sear them. Smoke them for like an hour, hour and a half. brought out of them. They're amazing. These need these salt peppers.
Ah, very good. I haven't had the Costco tomahawk steaks yet. I've had some great steaks from Costco, and really pleased with the quality of the meat that we've had from Costco. I haven't tried the tomahawk. We might have to do that. That could be fun. Hey, just a side note, Kevin, while you're here, what is our timestamp?
It is 55 minutes and 40 seconds, roughly.
55 minutes or so. Go to the YouTube channel and find tonight's video, whether you do it tonight or tomorrow. Go do that and give it a listen. You'll have a really good reference to what your audio sounds like to us. So it was clear. You had a great signal, had a good carrier coming in, but your audio level was very, very low. So give that a listen at 55 minutes, and that way you'll know just what it is that we're hearing, and maybe you can make some adjustments to your radio for future nets. Next couple of check-ins are YouTube check-ins. We have McDonough 45 Kai is a YouTube check-in from McDonough, and we have Dallas 16 Michael from Dallas is also a YouTube check-in. We also heard WSVE 395. When I searched that on the FCC ULS, it came up with no matches. So clearly we heard that incorrectly. My suspicion is that was actually a guest check-in, WSCV 548, Chris in Woodstock. So we've got you in log, Chris. I think that might have been you that we heard, and we just misheard it as WSVE 395. In either case, we have both entries in log, so if we've made a mistake, we don't want to leave anybody out, so we're going to keep both entries. We have Chattanooga 139, Robert in Ringgold. Robert, do you have any comments for the net tonight? Any barbecue recipes or any tips for smoking or grilling?
Yeah, 139 here. Well, don't have a lot in terms of the smoking, but what I do enjoy is just a good steak cooked on the open fire. No grill needed, and you don't get much better than that. It's got a flavor to it that surpasses everything.
Throw it right on the coals.
Yeah, I have to agree. Now, I haven't done it in a while because I just never really got good at it, and we kind of moved on to other things. But we used to do a lot of wood-fired grilling with the barbecue grill, and instead of charcoal, I used firewood. We'd cut small pieces of wood up and just burn that and use that to cook with. It created a lot of its own challenges. Cooking over an open fire, like a campfire kind of a fire, might not be quite as challenging because the fire is what the fire is, and you control your heat just by moving your food around, whether you're going to lay it on the coals or you're going to put it on some sort of a grill above the fire. You control the heat just by controlling the placement of the food over the heat. That was really challenging to do inside of a charcoal style grill, but it was definitely a better flavor, and that's the reason we kept trying, because you can't beat the flavor. Cooking on wood is just the ultimate. Cooking on charcoal is really good, way better than gas. But cooking on wood is it's the flavor all of its own. You taste the wood and you taste the meat. You get some of the smoke flavor that way, but it's really about the way the meat tastes, having been cooked, right from the wood. So very good stuff. And like Kevin says, low and slow. If you're smoking, or even if you're just cooking on the grill, that makes the food so tender. And really do like the way that those Boston butts would come out, cooking them 200 220 degrees for hours, and you take them off the grill out of the smoker and the meat just falls apart. That makes for a wonderful meal. So good stuff. Appreciate that. And see where we're at here. That was Robert in Ringgold. So next we have Chattanooga 168. Jim is a YouTube check-in. And that'll bring us to Atlanta 255. Jennifer in Dawsonville. Jen, do you have any grilling recipes or tips you'd like to share? Atlanta 255. Jan, are you there? All right. Last week she told me she had a house full of teenagers on a Thursday night. So I'm betting if that's what's going on again tonight, that's why she's not answering. So we'll keep moving, and if she has a comment she wants to make at the end, she can jump back in there. So next we have Atlanta 263. Rogers in Dunwoody was a YouTube check-in. Atlanta 532. Tom in Flowery Branch is in and out. We have WSCV 548. Chris in Woodstock is in and out. And we have Atlanta 102. James incoming. James, do you have any comments for the net? Barbecue recipes or tips? I do like the rib tips. The burnt ends.
Yep.
Oh man,
those are good.
Oh, burnt ends. No, the only tip or thing that I've done in the last 3 years, which has completely changed the game for me, is more temperature monitoring and a little more gradually. I got one of those $99 meters that's a portmanteau of meat and meter, and you stick it in, and then on your cell phone you can sit there and watch the temperature and maintain it exactly where you need it to get to and stuff. It gives you a real good level of control with things, and there's a lot cheaper options. But basically my tip is by switching to digital temperature probes, it changed my entire game.
Get precise with it.
Well, there's something to be said for that kind of precision, and I have used those inexpensive temperature probes, at the end when I think it's done, and I'm not quite sure what is the temperature inside. I'm shooting for, something that's maybe medium rare. The thing I like about rare to medium rare, especially if it's a big steak, is because if it's a big steak, I'm not going to eat it all. I'm definitely not going to be able to finish that steak. So if you fix that steak and it's rare or it's medium rare, then it's not shoe leather when you warm it back up the next day. Yeah. And you can take that medium rare steak with the leftovers of that, and you can throw that in a pan with some eggs and potatoes, and oh my golly, does that make for an awesome breakfast. And I do like a big steak, but I can't eat that much anymore. So I generally do turn that into 2 meals. And medium rare to rare is the best way to make that into 2 good meals.
That's right.
Jeff, how do you like your steaks?
However you like it. Because that would be the only reason it's at my house.
All right. Well, good points there, James, and thanks for checking in tonight. Next on the list, we have Chattanooga 30. Jonathan in Hickson is in and out. We have Dallas 49. Doug in Hiram is in and out. Atlanta 170. Dalton in Cartersville is in and out. And we have Chattanooga 84. Jim in Hickson is in with us tonight. Jim, what comments do you have for us tonight?
We lost Jim.
Well, I don't think Jim's got teenage kids to tend to tonight. So I'm not sure what happened to Jim, but we'll keep moving on. And if Jim has any comments, he can come in at the end and fill us in at that time. So we'll continue on with CW2. Stephen in Arnoldsville is in and out. And we also heard WRCK 509. Hopefully we got that call sign right. We don't have a way to look that one up, but that was a guest check-in with no name. So if that's your call sign and you'd like to join in on the conversation tonight, we'll go ahead and call out to you. All right, we're just going to go ahead and show WRCK 509 as in and out and continue on. We have WRWB 802 Larry from Colorado as a guest check-in tonight on YouTube. And we also have Atlanta 770 James in Ackworth, another YouTube check-in. And we have WRJZ 896 Gene in Phoenix, also a YouTube check-in. That is the end of our roster at this time. So at this time, we're going to make one call only for additional check-ins or any questions or comments. The floor is open. Net Control standing by.
Case Cove 80 with comment.
This is going to be the shortest net ever.
Barely over an hour.
Don't complain.
I'm not.
Then we can get Gary on the phone and get Zello fixed.
Yeah.
Get the audio up a little bit. Yeah.
While we're sitting in here, so we know what it sounds like in here.
Right.
All right. All right. Not hearing any additional check-ins and only hearing Cades Cove 80 for comments. Let's go straight to Eric and see what you got, Eric. Any questions or comments about tonight's topic?
Hey, thank you, Justin. Well, first of all, one reason I checked in and out, or came back and checked in and out, wasn't exactly sure what the topic was going to be about.
Me either.
I had another net to be at 8 o'clock. But as far as our topic tonight, I love grilling. I wished I could do more of it, but I've just got this little bitty charcoal grill, which is really plenty of room to, grill hamburgers, ribs, hot dogs. Every once in a blue moon, the family will get together and we'll build a little bonfire and get the grill going and cook the hamburgers and hot dogs. I wished I could do more of it. Wished I had a bigger grill. I don't really like gas grill because when I was sorry, the timer got me. I don't really like gas grills because when I was a firefighter, my captains and chiefs and training officers, they just, they explained to me that fire and gas does not mix. So I took that to heart. Could always have a gas leak or anything could happen. I've responded to many calls where a gas grill has exploded and severely burnt or even a fatality. So I just warn all the guys out there who are using gas grills, please make sure before you start, before you light it, make sure all your lines are good, make sure they're connected good. You just don't understand how dangerous this is. I responded to these calls. So with that, Net Control, I'll turn it back over to you.
Good job, Todd.
All right, Eric. Well, I've never really experienced any safety issues with gas grills, but I suppose that potential is always there. There was one time I fired up the Blackstone, and we were, I don't know, 3 or 4 minutes into that thing burning, and I could smell gas really strong, and so I peeked under the hood just a little bit to see if the burners that I had selected were actually burning, and one of the burners had not lit, and so it was just spewing out gas, but the burners right beside it were lit, so I don't think there would have been a possibility of an accumulation of gas. But I suppose if none of the burners had lit, you could have, and I've had that happen with a regular gas grill where you thought he had it lit.
Yeah.
The other problem I've seen with a regular gas grill is when it's very low on propane, it'll light up and it seems like it's going, but then the fire dies out, but the gas is still on. There's not a lot of gas left, but there is gas there. And you go to relight it, you get a nice big poof, and you get the lid pop up, and maybe you get a little singe on the eyebrows.
Yep.
That could be dangerous, but I've never really experienced anything more exciting than that with a gas grill. But it's gas, and the potential is there.
Know what you're getting into.
Yeah. Charcoal, depending on what you're doing for charcoal lighter fluid, I really, really don't like the match light type stuff. It's got some kind of a chemical, petroleum-based chemical that's built into it that makes it light easily, and it does light very easily. I don't like that. I don't really like the charcoal lighter fluid either, because I've had meals cooked on charcoal where that lighter fluid flavor, taste, what have you, kind of got into the food. So if I'm going to cook with charcoal, I'm probably going to light it with newspaper.
Use the chimney?
I don't have the chimney, and I've never done that, but we have several times wadded up newspaper into a big pile.
Okay.
And then stacked the charcoal on top of that and lit the charcoal that way.
Yep.
That works reasonably well. The chimney, I've seen it used, and that seems like a great way to start a charcoal grill. Highly recommend that versus lighter fluid, just simply because I've had food off a charcoal grill with that lighter fluid taste, and it's terrible. I mean, that just ruins the meal. Absolutely does. So I guess experience and learn as you go, and make all the mistakes and do better each time, and I don't know, by the time you're my age, you ought to know what you're doing.
And if you send your... Oh, go ahead.
What were you saying?
Oh, I was just going to say, and if you send your eyebrows off, the good news is they should grow back.
Usually they do.
As we all check.
All right. Well, good stuff. Well, that's the end of the roster tonight. And
well, we do have one more YouTube check-in that we're going to sneak in.
All right.
Just right under the radar.
Oh, that is right under the radar. So
the last possible minute.
That's going to be a YouTube check-in for Blue Ridge 64. Melissa from Blue Ridge is in and out with a YouTube check-in, and that's the end of our roster. So at this point, I have to move my my script to this last page. I think I heard a comment in there. Let me break for that comment. What do you look at me like that for?
Yes, gentlemen. Can you hear me? Atlanta 849.
Well, I was relatively sure that we would not be able to close out the evening without a comment from Pamela. So, yeah, we heard you in there. I heard you sneak that comment in. So we're just about to close things up, but go ahead with your comment, Pamela.
Okay, we were mobile. That's why I could not respond or do anything. I think back when I was younger, and my dad taught me how to grill, and I love the old-fashioned Kingsford briquettes, and we would could put water in a container to help the moisture situation to keep things from being so dried. And we don't get to grill out here much anymore. It's just too hard for both of us. So we just have to go to Sonny's or Longhorns or somewhere and get some good barbecue. But anyway, I just want to chime in real quick, and I hope that you can hear me okay, because I'm in the driveway. Thanks. Good night.
Ah, very good. Yeah, and I tell you, when it comes to eating out, I think that's money well spent at Longhorns. That's one of the better places to go in terms of quality of food. We've had really, really good service at the Longhorns near us, and dollar for dollar, you just can't beat it. And I really, really do. Is it the Flo's?
Flo's Filet.
Yeah, that's what I usually order. And so typically I would order the 6 ounce because that's kind of enough for me. But lately, Julie and I have been ordering the 9 ounce and splitting it, and then just getting an extra side.
Yeah,
and that seems to work.
They have good sides.
The 6 ounce is that's enough steak for me. But if you split a 9 ounce, maybe I wanted a little bit more. But still, that's in terms of value, that's a great way to keep the cost down and still be able to enjoy a very well prepared.
It's a great point.
Steak. And I don't want to go to the restaurant and bring my steak home. So if I'm making a big old steak here at the house, I'll get the great big thick steaks, and that's a joy because it seems like the harder the steak is, the more difficult it is to mess it up. You can do a lot of things wrong and still end up with a great steak. And I think that's the best way to learn. Buy the thicker steak, and it's more forgiving. If you didn't do it right and you cut it open, you can always throw it back on a grill.
Yes.
Whereas once you've overcooked a thin steak, it's done. That's over. All you can do is eat it, or not eat it.
It's a good time to try different sauces at that point.
Yeah. Whenever we order steak at the restaurant, the waitress says, "Do you need A1 sauce?" I say, "I hope not."
Yeah, exactly. That'll depend on y'all.
That's right. So, all right. Well, I think we're going to wrap this one up. So at this time, this concludes the North Georgia GMRS Regional Net. Tonight we had a total of
58 chickens.
58 chickens. That is an artificially inflated number, but we're going to go with it. Net Control will now be returning the repeaters back to normal use. Everyone who signed in should sign out. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and remember, comments on the YouTube videos show engagement with the video and help the channel grow. Thank you for allowing us to serve as your net control this evening. Good night, everyone. This is Atlanta 946, WQIR 514. My name is Justin.
And this is WRWM 344, Blue Ridge 63. My name is Mike.
And Atlanta 750, WRMR 367. My name is Jeff.
We are North Georgia GMRS Network.
And we are clear. Good night, everyone.
Good night, folks.
Good night.